Hi. I wanted to talk about nice guys and performative males. And the videos I've seen over the years are mocking them and making fun of them, which is easy and obvious because it's truthful. But I'm old, so it makes me feel kind of sad because I'm like, oh, oh, honey, these guys, they don't know how to talk. They just want somebody to like them. Like performative males, like dressing like that and holding a Dubai latte or whatever it is and pretending to read communist books and stuff like that. They just want to touch a boob. It's like Chainsaw Man, right? They just want a Copperfield. They just want somebody to like them back. And they don't know how to talk to anybody because the welfare system made it so that they can't see their dads, or their dads didn't want to be there because their moms were so crazy that they even abandoned. Whatever it is, I don't want to blame women. I blame society at large. But you would think from all the alpha male videos that these guys would know how to talk to women, but they don't. And when you look at the nice guys Reddit thread videos, basically they're just begging, like they're begging for, like, please, like if I just explain to you why it is that you should let me on top of you, then you should let me, then if I can explain it to her, then she will let me f her, and or something. And it's, like, oh, hon, you don't know how to talk to women. But there's all these videos that's supposed to be like Red Pill video and Andrew Tate and stuff telling you how to talk to women, except that these guys want money. And Andrew Tate's gay. Like he is a homosexual. Like when somebody, this is the thing, when you want to know Andrew Tate, he puts it in his mouth. He puts the thing in his mouth, and when this happens, he loves that. He loves it, quite frankly. He cherishes those moments when the guy's inside of his mouth or his ass, and he loves that part. It's the best for him. He's gay. And so there's all these videos telling young men how to be, and it doesn't even work, obviously, because there are compilations that they keep making. They're doing performative male performances in the park. Hey, you guys scared about, want to come get out of the house and go touch some grass? Go down to the park and make fun of guys who have or wearing like a purse or whatever. I don't know. I can't think of the right word. They have a handbag, and then they're holding, I have the drink, I have the book, I'm gonna go sit somewhere and maybe someone will see me and they will like me. Do you see how heartbreaking that is? It's just somebody who is a man, a young man, doesn't know how to do it yet, he has the mind of a boy, and he's like, well, women are crazy now, and they're communist, feminist, socialist, Marxist, because that's what the social media platforms tell me that women are now. So maybe somebody will let me f them if I look like a fat, and it doesn't work, to the point where like they're openly mocked. Hey, maybe you want a communist girl. You want one I like colors. Maybe I want like a girl that has the danger colors and gets your attention. She looks like My Pretty Pony, rainbow hair, isn't she cute? And then you want to get somebody like that, and you're like, maybe she'll like me, and you're reading Obama's father's books. Like, that's an obscure reference. Yeah, women aren't reading those books. You should just wear like a Minotaur helmet or something, or be handsome. Maybe you should just be a hot guy and wear clothes that don't fit, and just, and you don't need a communist, socialist, Marxist book, because women aren't reading them. That's a small percentage of like people that want to be seen, that make videos. Or like, I feel like I have to talk about the Hassan Piker thing. There's something I shouldn't know anything about. Okay, he abuses his dog. That's like it's like distraction, right? It's a distraction story. Hey, focus on him and his dog, and there's real awful stuff happening in the world. So anyway, this guy, his audience is women, because he's a tall, handsome guy. And there are women that grew up online, whatever generation it is, I guess it would be Generation Z. So they were really mean to people online when they made fun of their K-pop idols when they were growing up. And they were also really, vicious about being Taylor Swift fans attacking people that said anything about her, or Justin Bieber. So pick one of the three. They had K-pop, the early K-pop stuff, which was the BTK Killers. Remember that band? They're like little pastel rainbow colored little Korean kids. They made them gay. They made them be gay. It was like no, you have to suck a whammy. You have to put it in your mouth, and then you can be a big star. And then like now I don't even care if girls like me anymore. All they just keep thinking about is that they have a thirst to have whatever. So this is the women that like Hassan Piker. It's suspended adolescence. They're not very smart. They're women. I'm not saying that women are stupid. Obviously, it's not true. The women. My doctor's a woman. You know my doctor, Dr. Victoria Boombots. Oh, hi. You know my doctor, Dr. Victoria Boombots. That's my Rodney. So anyway, do you know who Rodney Dangerfield is? Anyway, I'm gonna keep going. So you have these three things. You have whatever young women were attacking online. So they grew up and they're like, well, I'm a grown up now and I went to college and I'm not very smart and I don't know about communism, socialism, Marxism, but that's how they tell us we have to be. I got woke AF. Well, I should just say I got woke as hair coloring at Walmart on clearance and dyed their hair with it for the first time, and it felt great, just like that moment in Scott Pilgrim when a little Korean girl put blue highlights in her hair like Ramona Flowers. So people grow up like this, and then now they don't know how to be, and they're not very smart. So those people like Hassan Piker, well, I'll be about whatever my man's about. So for them, their man is Hassan Piker. So they like him, even though he doesn't know, whatever, he's a puppet or whatever, he's a rich kid. This dog thing with his dog is his humiliation ritual into, he's going to have a black eye soon, whatever. Who knows? But anyway, the point is that women, not all women, there's a segment of women that are dumb, and when they're kids, they have their social media platforms like Justin Bieber and the BTK Killers and K-pop and Taylor Swift and all the things to keep you stupid. And then they grow up and they're like, well, I have to be a woman now, strong, independent woman, and I'll learn about politics. So they watch a guy that they think is hot, that's handsome, they watch him and they go, oh. And then they're about whatever he's about. So he beats his dog and like, I don't care. I'll put him on a leash. They'll say like that. So that's that. So women are stupid. That doesn't get made fun of nearly enough as everything's an attack on men because men are supposed to lead. So make a generation or two or three until it's a done deal where men don't know how to lead. And this begging for Reddit guy, like, please, can I just have some? Can I just have just a little? Can you just? That's okay. I won't tell your boyfriend. Can you just please give me some? And if I and explain to her why it is that she should me, then maybe she'll me. And it doesn't work, obviously. And that's, they make fun of it, and they're like, look at these guys are disgusting. Okay, yes, but I blame their parents because they don't know how to talk to women. And whether, if you don't have a dad, then your mom has to explain to you how to treat women. But if she doesn't know either, and you don't have a dad or whatever. I know a lot of people have dads, but, I think a lot of parents didn't know that their kids shouldn't spend so much time online, and now the damage is done. It's like when Joe Rogan told people, hey, you guys should take drugs because it was really worked out for me. And now everybody takes drugs, and a lot of people listen to Joe Rogan, and it ruined their lives. And Joe Rogan at some point is going to come out with an apology saying, I'm sorry I told you guys to take drugs. I didn't realize that the world couldn't handle their high. Also, they can't afford to, weed out like Joe Rogan did. Well, now they can. Gas station vapes, I guess. I can see people foregoing basic necessities of life saying, I'll make it work. They just want to get vapes. That's like a junkie, right? A gas station junkie. They're making these things now. But I said that this video is supposed to be focused on, I don't know. I've never been on Reddit, but I watch YouTubes about making fun of Redditors, which seems to be a consistent thing. But we all know that the internet is ruining us, so it's going to ruin the younger generation more than me. But when I see the performative male stuff being made fun of, and the Reddit like begging for nice guys, which are not nice. They get really mean and they throw it's a tantrum. Like, it's not that these guys are probably they are, but they're throwing tantrums because they just, please, can I just just give it. They're getting frustrated because they can't get like a kid throwing a tantrum. Like, just give me the thing. And women do this too. They have nice girls. I've seen those. They're not as predominant as the Reddit nice guys thing. I think it's only because well, men aren't as petty as women. Like, women will show you the nice guys things, but then guys will have crazy women after them, and they're just like not taking time out of their life to show you. Probably don't have time to do that. But there definitely is the nice girls, because I've seen some of those videos too over the years, and they're crazy. You know, like women just doing anything just because they want to get railed by somebody, which, you know, maybe guys don't complain about it and make as many nice girls Reddit threads, because guys are like, you know, wouldn't you like, isn't that kind of a thing that a guy wants? There's just like a woman begging for sex. I mean, we used to LARP that. I was like, can you pretend like that this disgusting thing that I'm going to do to you now is like the best thing ever, and you just love it? It's like, yeah, you got it. And he's like, but I want you to do this. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. And then we would do disgusting things. You make sexual contracts with your girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse, whatever, and like, I want to do this, can we do that? And she's like, okay. And then maybe she's like, okay, you know, she'll lay a disgusting thing, and she's like, I want to do this, and you're like, all right, but then I want to do this, and just keep upping the stakes till you break up. And that's for people who are actually having sex. And I feel it's heartbreaking to me that people can't meet up, but it's by design. It's called social engineering, and the social engineering, and you could call it, there's other words for it too, programming of people. Divide and conquer. I say that all the time. I'm not the only one to say it. But that's the strategy. Keep everyone divided so that people don't pair up, and then there's nothing to fight for. You just want your basic things, which would be universal basic income, or, you know, there's a gooning epidemic, all this stuff. Guys have unrealistic expectations about sex, about what they think they should have, because of what they see the most beautiful woman in the world doing the nastiest. Have you noticed that women that do pornography, I don't watch it, but I've seen it, and even women that do pornography, you can see them with their clothes on, right? Like on YouTube, and they're there, and being interviewed, and like, wow, that she has so much to say. So the women that are in pornography are more beautiful than the top #1 movie stars. And the thing about that is, like, the famous women who aren't even the hottest women anymore, they leak their dirty videos so that you can see them blowing and catching, you know, remember we saw Hunger Games with a champagne glass full of great. And all the nasty you've probably seen nastier stuff than I have. I've seen these things just looking for thumbnails for YouTube videos. I'm like, oh, that's what's happening. There it is. There's her initiation into the blood club or whatever. So I feel sad. I feel sad for performative males, because if you look at it differently, it's guys that just want somebody to like them, and it's girls that just want to get. That's the nice girls. And it's sad. Everybody should be getting, and you should just see how God set it up. He's like, just pair up with somebody, and then you have to stay together and make it work, unless there's like some reasons for divorce, unless they cheat, unless one of them beats the other one, and you guys can break up, try it again. But it's sad because I see the attacks. Like, these guys can't get so as it is, and now you're making fun of like their every, like, just think of the lengths that, like, just look at what a performative male looks like. You've seen these videos. It's funny, right? They just want a woman to like them. Being a performative male isn't a new thing. Whatever time, like, I'm old. When I grew up, there was things that guys would do, and they would say, you're just doing that because girls like that, or trying to get women's attention. There was just different ways to do it. It's not a new thing. The performative male isn't nothing new. It's just doing things that you think will attract a woman to you so that you can. And it's this oldest tradition in the world. It used to be in the days when people didn't have possessions. They were like, I just want the feather of this one bird, and if I wear it on the side of my head, maybe someone will blow me. It's old. It's Incas, Aztecs, maybe, whatever. Even all the most beautiful people got sacrificed to the feathered serpent or whatever it is. But now people are just sacrificing each other up online, and it's sad. Women just want to get railed. Guys want to rail them, and nobody's good enough. Except for that, there's still a lot of people going out there having sex, and except now that they're all the same genders with each other and they're taking hormones, and it's very confusing. And people are still getting and they're whacking it. I remember being in relationships where I was having sex all the time, and it just created such a monster that it wasn't enough to actually be having sex with somebody, like having sex all the time, but also still off or trying to get her to off as many times as possible. And like, well, how about this, like negotiating sex. So I know about Reddit nice guys because my version of it before there was Reddit or before there was the internet was just like, even in a relationship, because there's somebody there trying to negotiate, well, you want to do this now? But my problem was, and I think it really did create a problem with me, what do you call it? Codependent relationship, where sex is a very powerful drug. So if you're having it all the time, then you're not going to be complaining about it. But even though I can remember a couple relationships where I was having sex all the time, it really was never enough. I always wanted it to be more. And, but I know the women can be the same way too. Like, women are just as handsy with, if they touch you, then they're just, but the difference is guys are never like, no, don't do, like, no, stop, grabbing my thing or whatever. Guys don't say that. I've been in situations where it's embarrassing and with like bad girlfriends. A bad girlfriend, this one specific woman, and just she would do like this dirty stuff. I just realized she wanted everybody to see her getting by me or doing stuff like dirty public stuff, like wanted to do that. And well, and I know why. Like, when she was young, she said this thing happened and people saw that happening. And I was like, when I was with her, I didn't think about it until it became a pattern where it was like, oh, she just wants people to see her having sex or doing something to me. So she was always me in public, trying to blow me, just do crazy stuff. I never had so many in the car in my life when I'm driving. And I'm like, can I just pull over? And she's like, no, keep driving. Which I don't recommend. It's dangerous, and you're going to drive at a different speed. I remember driving really slow because I was trying to drive and watch get. I shouldn't be talking about this. And then I could see people looking like, why the is he driving so slow? And you're like, oh, somebody's down there. Yeah, that was the whole point. She wanted that. She knew. She was a little older than me. And now people can't even get. It was so easy for me, and I'm ugly, okay? I have pictures. If I need to show pictures, I can put a slide in here to prove that I was kind of a handsome guy. I didn't have to do anything. I never really knew how to talk to women, but just the kind of woman that you think you would want would just kind of like, oh, I want that guy. And then all I had to do is just be a little bit handsome. I know I wrecked it all. Drugs and alcohol, bad lifestyle choices and everything. But I used to be handsome. So I'll put a picture in somewhere to substantiate so you recognize I'm bona fide. That it's sad that people aren't getting okay. And like I said before, I remember I had a particularly bad breakup, and it was my friend and his wife. I think they were married then. And he used to take me out to get over the breakup, and he used to take me to clubs because I never went to like clubs, like nightclubs and stuff. I didn't need to. I would get steady. I was like a woman. I'd go like a lesbian. I'd go from one monogamous relationship to another, have 3 dates, let's move in or whatever, or let's have sex or whatever. Like the way they say lesbians are, that's how I dated. Just from one to the next. And then it would last a long time, and then I'd get another one. Serial monogamy, I guess they'd call that. But then after this one bad breakup, and it was really, I'm going to be transparent about it. It really wasn't a good relationship. But the sex was particularly nasty. Like, whatever I wanted to do, she's like, you're the best. And she would say all the things you'd want to hear and do really, anywhere I want, all these things. And so it hurt losing that. and I would just do anything to keep banging her. And I did some of that Redditor guy stuff, and the thing is that it worked. Like, I was like, it's kind of risky because she's probably out there screwing everybody, because she was kind of like, once we broke up, I was like, oh, she's probably getting around. And then I was like, I don't care, I just want, just come blow or something. And she would do that, and it was a disaster. But I don't know what's happening now. And I say that this is what I look like, not really a very handsome guy. I'm telling you, I'm assuring you, it really didn't matter. Women always kind of got around. Even before the internet, women would have a lot of sex. So pretty women have a lot of sex. I don't know if you know this. They try out all the different kinds of guys. Maybe I'll try one of these this time. Well, eventually they get around to whatever type of guy that I was, which is basically not really knowing how to talk to women. As I got older, that changed. I had a thing that's very common is you find out your friends aren't really friends, or you mess up friendships. I've done both. And then you're kind of on your own, and you don't have any friends, and you're like, but I know what it's like to get I have to get, somebody has. So I'm sorry for being so crude, but we're just going to keep going because I know I'm going to censor it, and I love censoring curse words in my videos because I think it's funny. So, and I want to get everyone. So you don't know what it's like to actually get your wet, and you have to and you have to you have to do all these things. So you're gonna have to learn how to talk to women even if you don't know how to do it. And I want to tell you something. What they equate with gay men saying like, oh, you don't have to talk, it's just a look. It's the same thing with women. You want to know what it's like to talk to women? You don't have to. You just have to think of it like gay dudes look at each other and they vibe each other out and like they're down for it. You just have to, it's a look. A woman will give you a look and you just have to give that look back and just hold on to it. It doesn't matter if you don't know what to say or you say stupid shit. Because I can think of pretty much invariably talking to somebody for the first time and then you're like, that's it. I hope this is going to be something, and then it is, and you bang them, and somebody's blowing you that you don't really know, and you're like, wow, I hope this turns into something. You know what I mean? You don't know somebody, and you're doing a sex act with them, and you're hoping that it will turn into something. That's a bad start, but that's really all I know. I remember a first date where I had sex before. She said, come on in. And I'm like, okay, she's not ready yet. And then we had sex. And then we had the date. That was the best date I ever had. It was a post-coital warm and fuzzies first date. It was great. I don't recommend it because it's against God and everything. And yet we're people of Revelation 20 and it's Satan's short season. Are the rules different now because he was already here once before and ruled with an iron rod for 1,000 years? Does that make it different now? Okay. So, it's just sad that guy. I'm not some kind of Casanova, obviously. I mean, I had friends that were worse than me, where they would just like fool around with married women, and they didn't care. I know guys that cheat on their wives. They're over there, right over there. Just kidding. So anyway, I know guys that cheat on their wives, and they're scumbags, and they're like really, like a guy like that. Is that really anybody's friend? Well, I suppose so. Maybe your friend is a guy like that. But I've known some guys that were horrible dogs. I've also known women like that too. Women that are just really disgusting and have boyfriends, have husbands, and they'll cheat on both. And but it's sad to me that I can talk about the past. Oh, remember this and remember times I think disgusting things I did or whatever. The video's not supposed to be about that. I'm just saying that it used to be easy. Wrong. I mean, my whole dating history and love life or whatever is wrong. And you can, like, a lot of people make videos and they'll lie, and I'm like, I don't want to name names, but I can think of YouTubers where they give advice on women, and I'm like, you don't know, that's not true. But anyway, to get back on what I was talking about that actually kind of matters is, I don't really think, like, I don't watch videos about how to get women and stuff like that. But are any of those guys just telling you that it has to be where you have to be like attractive enough and then it's a look? She gives you a look, you give her a look. Like, you don't really have to say anything. I mean, if you don't know somebody, like, I remember having dating profiles when the stigma went away. When they first had online dating, people would make fun of it. You can't get a date in real life, you got to go on a computer to get a date, and everybody made fun of it until they started seeing that it was working, and now it's just swipe people. But I remember, like, profiles did matter, because I would do this thing where I'd write my profile and I'd take it seriously. And then when I didn't feel like paying for the dating website anymore, eHarmony is one that I was successful with. Then I would just trash the website. I'd point out everything that was wrong with it. I'd point out that women would pose themselves in the same way, and I'd point out everything that was wrong with the women on the website and the photos, and then I'd make fun of the men, like men too. And then I would just shit on everything. And then that's usually how it would work. And I did it one time on accident, and then it became like just a way of what they call it, modus operandi. And I was like, yeah, just trash the whole thing, and then somebody will think that's funny. And but your pictures matter. Like, let's face it, like if you see somebody in their picture, you don't like their picture, it doesn't matter what they think. Appearances matter. Except that guys don't care. It's like, oh, she's a hot slob. She's kind of a slob. Well, then it just makes you think you but she probably has too many yeast infections on regular period. That's one of the things I don't hear about. There's so many videos I can't see them all, and I wouldn't try to watch these videos. But I've never seen not one video that talks about. Maybe it's the kind of content that I actually watch, but I've never seen not a single video where you talk about yeast infections. Like if you have steady and you're getting on the regular with your steady partner, she's gonna have a lot of yeast infections and stuff if you're really banging that thing out. And I remember there's so many different things. Like I can remember her like gearing up for sex, which we did all the time, like constantly. It was a lot of money spent on contraceptive stuff. She would shoot stuff into her, like some kind of like white goo. Before I shot my white goo, she would inject that into her. I wear a condom, a spermicidal lubricant. I wonder if that woman ever got pregnant, ever, because of what we did. Just always putting stuff inside of her body to kill any chance of having a baby. And there was a lot of yeast infections. And if you're down there a lot, there's probably, she's gonna have trouble. Do people talk about that? Or maybe it's just the kind of disgusting, grody that I had. Could be. Banging out hood rats. Just kidding. I don't know. I've never had a hood rat. That implies a black. I don't know. But I never had a hood rat girlfriend. But there can be like white, what they call it, white hood rats or whatever. I know about that. The townies, whatever you want to call them, banging out a townie girl. When you're dating women, like I've had multiple girlfriends, just to tell you the kind of skanks that I used to troll for. Where she's like, watch this, and then she shows you something and you're like, wow, you know how to do that? And she's like, yeah. You like it? And he's like, I did that for you. And I'm like, yeah, you learned how to do that on somebody else trained you how to do that. And that's hard. And then you're like, then you love her a little bit less, because you're like, you think it's like, that's why God told us we're supposed to pair up. This is how people are supposed to be. You're supposed to be bad at sex because you're not having any and you don't know anything, and then you get married and then you figure it out. She doesn't know anything, you don't know anything, and then you get married. That's why God wanted to be sanctified, so that you would stay together, and it also prevents the spreading of diseases and everything like that. So sanctified sex, what do I know about that? But that is why, you know what I mean? Like, listen to all the things I've said. Remember them, at least. And think about why God said you're supposed to be married to somebody. One, it's supposed to be your whole secret world. It's a bonding thing. It's like the hugest thing for bonding. And now people aren't bonding or staying together. And people that are getting can't pick somebody and make up their mind and just stop. It's so sad. And I hate it. Like, I just want people paired up. But also, like, I do have a conscience. I kind of, I myself am like, yeah, it'd be nice. I want to go out and get somebody to do that. but it's not. That's fornicating. You have to, you know, it's supposed to take time. You're supposed to. I don't know. I'm sorry. I have no advice. Probably, I'm just being honest. I think even in this day and age, God's like, if two people actually get together, it's gonna be expected that they're gonna do before they're married. It's great for people who can hold out. But I mean, like I'm saying, like even to God, I mean, if you really think about it, I don't know how old you are watching this, but if you really think about it, God's like, he just probably just wants them to stay together. That's not an excuse to go out and have premarital sex. But I'm just saying, with the state of the world that it is, when some people just aren't doing anything, and it's not just men that aren't getting any, there's women that aren't getting any either. And it used to be, when I was growing up, the ugly people would just have each other, and they would just be glad that somebody liked them. And I'm ugly too, but I really kind of want to brag about women. I'd be like, how'd you get her? I also know what it's like to date somebody pretty. And then everywhere you go, she's like, why don't we just stay home? And I'm like, well, don't you want to do stuff? She's like, yeah, but like, let's not. Because she'd see we'd be together, and then every guy that thought they had a chance would be like, huh, she's with him? I can take her away. I can get her. And it really is a pain in the to have everything hitting on your girlfriend. Or guys that just don't even know that they're doing that. You know what I mean? Like, just how people behave. You've seen women do this. I've seen some disgusting displays of, I'm with a guy that's a handsome guy, like a real handsome guy, not me. And then women just can't even control themselves, and they just do the stupidest and everything he says or does is just great, and it's so dumb. And I'm like, yeah, that's it. People's brains just turn to mush when there's a pretty person or a handsome man or whatever in front of them. They just become idiots. And it's heartbreaking. You know what I mean? Like, that's how sensitive we are. People just aren't really very smart, and we're easily manipulable, but nobody wants to admit that. And it's sad when a guy dresses like a has a handbag, and he has the coffee, and he's got the fufus, right? Got him hanging keychains, Easter Bunny keychain things, whatever it is. And he's got, you know, some kind of communist Marxist socialist book or whatever. And then women don't care. They don't care. Like, did that ever get anybody anything? Maybe if the guy was handsome, but guys like that, do they really have to do that? Some guys set traps. They call them traps because they can just trap women, and like, just do one thing so the woman will say, oh, I love anything you do. I saw your shirt, and then whatever. That's women. And the guy knows that, and he just wants to him, and he doesn't like them anymore because I'm not one of these guys, but I've heard from handsome guys, like, just some of the disgusting things. We just bang one right after the other, women, sometimes multiple women a night. I've done a scummy thing like that once. Once he puts two fingers up. Well, one night, whatever. So, what am I talking about? Yeah, some people just aren't getting at all, and it's sad. And this video is a mess, but I just didn't want to think about it. I was like, I just want to talk about that. It's a heartbreaking thing. The Reddit nice girls, nice guys, it's horrible. The performative male thing. I guess I didn't talk about this, but just to wrap it up, the pick me. I did videos where I said, isn't that exactly the kind of woman you want? Don't you want to pick me that she's just a woman, so it's just a woman, whatever. Sorry if there's a woman watching this and you think that I don't, like my opinions about women or whatever. But I'm going to have to find a way to go on, I guess. So, I said, the kind of woman you want is a pick me. Because you want a woman that's about whatever her man's about. But it seems to me like my misunderstanding of what a pick-me was is that girls that are called pick-me are making social media posts and TikToks, and they want to be picked, but they can't make up their mind about not one guy. They want everybody to pick them. So really, it's just the same thing. It's the most common, natural thing that you would want people to like you. And sometimes people are willing to be really mean to get liked in a way where they like disregard other people's feelings and say, well, I don't care if those people don't like me. You know, and did you ever see the videos, TikToks or whatever, compilations of like mean girls? They're pretty and they're mean and like just they're horrible. And then they make videos like, I don't understand why anybody doesn't want to date me. And it's a commercial for advertisement for the next guy. Or women waking up to like, well, I did what I I let him do anything he wanted to me, and then he married somebody else. And you know, it's like a guy that's the high value man everybody wants, and this really hot chick. And you'd be glad if she ever liked you or whatever. She would never. And then she's like, but I got my guy that had all the money, and he was just using me for sex. Yeah, and he married somebody else that he could trust because you know, it's like, it's sad that some women, hot, beautiful, stupid, mean women, and in the old days they used to just be somebody's wife and they were just a little bit annoying or kind of haughty or whatever, and now everything's just exaggerated. The whole world is flared up like a pack of hemorrhoids, bloody hemorrhoids, and everybody just wants one person they can trust. I've done multiple videos on this, and I don't know when this video is going to come out. Like, I have so many videos queued. I'm like, what the hell, if the world changes, how will that affect my videos that haven't been released yet? I don't know. But I just wanted to talk about all these things. So I talked about nice guys, nice girls, performative males, pick-me's, and in summation, I guess I'll just say once again to reiterate, I guess the pick-me thing, do I have a lot to say about that? No, it's just they want somebody to pick them, but probably not you or me, because we don't have all the things in the right combination. The princess programming, how could I forget it without bringing in the princess programming? Programming women to be like princesses, Disney princesses, where nothing is realistic or satisfying. The whole thing's a fantasy. You know, like inside her mind, and nothing can live up to these impossible standards, and then you're too old, and you everybody, and nobody wants you. And then the guy you get's like, well, I'm glad I need somebody. And I'm like, but I never would have picked this guy. And then it doesn't work out. Surprise, surprise. I think the problem is ingratitude. Most people are ungrateful. Like the nice guys throwing pussy take. But if I explain to her, then she'll blow me. It's just, it's comical to me. If I could just explain, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just think it's so funny to me. So if it's funny to me, I'm not special. It must be, you know, funny to other people. Like explaining why, like I should be, like you should like me for guy. To get your is stupid. And it's just it's just going the wrong way about wanting people to like you, whether it's men or women. And people don't know how to behave because they grew up on the internet, and so it looks funny to people that grew up before the internet. And one of the good things, I'll leave with a silver lining. People are having so much burnout from social media that they're making like their Gen Z, millennial, new age versions of like of a good thing, which is like they're having instead of just turning off social media, they're having like social media free retreats where you go on a retreat and there's just no social media. Why don't you just turn off? I leave my phone off. If I don't want people to call me, it's easier now more than ever. I mean, you used to have an answering machine and the phone would ring. Or you just leave the answering machine. I get it. Now you don't even have to, you just don't have to have it on. If your phone's not on, you're not going to get anything. If you don't, you know what I mean? People are addicted. We know what's been done to our brains. We've seen the brain scans. Have you seen them? They're terrible. They're killing our brains. The internet is killing our brains. And drugs. So there's a come down from this. I talked about I've done videos about this before. I talk about that people have no FAP, where they just don't want to. They've looked at the addiction, video game addictions, and people come down from it. They've had enough and like, I can't do this anymore, and then they stop, at least for a time. And now that's happening with social media, where people are moving away from social media, and that brings in like dead internet theory stuff, where it's like, well, we'll just fill it with bots because people are watching and it's destroying enough people, and they're changing all the information. And basically all those things are just leading to wanting to put little RFID pins in us and saying, well, everybody has to prove who they are because AI, how does AI ruin the world? By blaming AI for everything so that we have to get their fake mark of the beast RFID pins put in us. That's what AI does. So what does AI do? It makes accountability for frazzle drip useless because they're like, you just made an AI video that they didn't really do those things. They didn't really have a blood sacrifice at the Super Bowl where they cut a baby's head off and drank the blood right out of his stump or whatever. That didn't really happen. That was a AI video. You need a chip. That's what it's about. So yeah, so I guess I was talking about sad things about men and women, but ultimately, where's it all leading? They just want to know everything about you, and they even have the device that they put on your toilet that measures your stool, so that if you're eating meat, it'll say, hey, how did you get meat? We measured your stools because there's a meter, a shit meter that you have to pay for on your toilet, and it analyzed your blood in your stool or whatever, and it says you had meat. How'd you get meat? You're supposed to eat the bugs. Eat your bugs. No. Watch each other masturbate and trade emojis, and we want to know all about it. Where are they going? Nowhere. Everybody's got a chip. Stay home and watch the internet. And it doesn't have to be that way because we're not going through Book of Revelation stuff that already happened. We're people of Revelation 20, which is Battle of Gog and Magog stuff. And whether you or I ever live to see it. So the rules are different now. So, we're not playing into stuff that already happened. All right? Stuff that already happened when Jesus came the first time. All that stuff's happened already. What it says about us for people of Revelation 20 doesn't mean that we're going to repeat the fake end of the world that they already had. All right? This is something different for us. So maybe by letting Satan confuse the nations for a short time, where we're ultimately leading with all of this, at the end of my disgusting video, I want to talk about God. Yes. Maybe it's just where the people just start rejecting all the stuff that they're being programmed with. We're being hit with an onslaught of bullshit, and people are having their come down from social media. People have already had their come down from no fat. People have already had so much weed they don't want anymore. People have already had so much prescription drugs. There's so many people who just don't want the shit they're feeding to us. Oh, you like cheap, easy consumerism through Temu and Shein? Well, now we're rolling out austerity agenda where they're overcharging you to buy stuff from Shein, so don't buy it anymore and have less things. And yeah, what do you do when you don't have much else? You turn to God. A lot of people will. So I think that all the stuff that's being done to us seems like an overwhelming, I guess I'll use the word onslaught again. Did I just say that word? An overwhelming onslaught of horrible things that makes us feel hopeless, hapless, and heedless. Yeah, and a lot of people are rejecting that. So it doesn't have to play out. We already had God come here one time. So that whatever happened already, that doesn't apply to us now. Oh, the rapture and all these things. You know what the rapture is? I did videos on this already. It was like a 3-minute video. And I said, the rapture means one man will be left and one man will be taken. The man that's taken means he's going to be dead. It doesn't mean he's going to be taken up into the clouds. So whatever surrounding the camp of the saints means, you and I don't know. But it also doesn't mean that the things that they planned for well over 100 years to set up one global government, it doesn't mean that's going to work. There are cracks and tears all over the place in their plans. Just because they have a bunch of checkpoints that they want for Agenda 2030 doesn't mean that they're going to get their way. It doesn't mean that it's going to work. Just because they plan some kind of fake alien invasion that's demons or whatever it is, it doesn't mean that it's going to go the way that they want. People talk about the moon. They don't believe that there's a moon or whatever. None of that matters. Down here on Earth, people can just say no to a lot of stuff, and people are doing that, and I think it's great. Now it's time to pair up, make it sanctified, and start. Even though it wouldn't be for unlawful carnal marriage if it was approved by God because you were married and you made a commitment before God and He took you on your word, even if He knew you were lying about it or whatever. People are made for each other. We're supposed to pair up. You're supposed to find a woman you would die for. And it's sad that the woman you would die for everybody before you got there. But now she knows how to do it really great. And whatever you guys do is none of my business. And I'm sorry for talking to you about things about my life, because probably shouldn't have done that. But, well, anyway, I'm going to have to live with things I said. I'm starting to get concerned. Videos I made. It's Matthew 7. or Matthew, where is it? It's judge, as you judge, so shall you be judged. And I think about some of the things I said. It's Matthew 6:7, do not judge. Judge that you not be judged, for with what judgment you judge, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured back to you. Yipes. And think about how the mean things I said. Is God going to hold it against me because of what I said about Netanyahu? Is going to hold it against me because I said Andrew Schultz was the sucker of Saudi Satan? Maybe. But also, he knows my heart better than I do. And I'm not special and no different than you in that. God knows your heart. And people were made to pair up, and I think it's a dumb thing to give up on that. And I don't know who's watching this, if it's an old guy with a wife or whatever. Hey, isn't it sad for the kids instead of just making fun of them? Look at what they did to them. They don't even know how to talk to women. They're like texting, begging for It's so sad. And dressing like a And then there's the guys that like Legos. I went to the local buyback store. I don't know why I'm throwing this in. I went to the Lo-Fi Chill Jams. I went to the local buyback store, and they had like this whole bin of Legos. So when I go into the city, I'll usually stop there because I like media, and I'll try and find something that I would like, cheap, used, or whatever. This is like a junk store. It's basically like a Goodwill, but it's like nicer. Like upscale thrift store is the buyback store. And they have this big thing of Legos, like an island of Legos, and you can dig through and like fill a bag of Legos. Like you weigh it out by pounds or ounces or whatever the hell. I don't know how to do it because I don't give a about Legos. It's always adults. Like there'll be like a couple autistic kids where you look at them and like, yeah, that kid's, that's probably autism. He don't look right. You know, like a snot or something. I'm like, that's great, digging around boogers and Legos and playing with your pecker. In the store. But it's adults. It's like these grown mouth-breathing guys, which is again heartbreaking. I'm saying mean things, but God knows my heart, even if you don't. And I'm like, look at these guys are playing with Legos because they don't know about. I mean, they do. They've probably seen the most disgusting things online. But anyway, I just wanted to say, pray to God. Pray to God. When you have nothing else, you have that.